So, the Oscars came and went as they do every year, and today I wanted to go through the winners and give my opinions. Because since my top 10 movies of 2014 video, I've actually seen quite a few Oscar movies. And by quite a few, I mean 3. I didn't want to do a whole review for each of them, so this is kind of a mega review for the Oscar movies I've seen. But first, the winners. Birdman took home Best Picture, which actually surprised me a lot. Alejandro Gonzalez Iñárritu got Best Director, completely deserved. Best Actor went to Eddie Redmayne, and look, I don't want to be that guy who says Michael Keaton got robbed, but come on, Michael Keaton deserved that. Best Actress went to Julianne Moore, haven't seen the movie, no comment. Supporting Actor went to J.K. Simmons, again, completely deserved. Supporting Actress went to Patricia Arquette, which is fine, but I haven't seen Boyhood, so again, I can't really comment. Best Animated Film went to Big Hero 6, should've gone to the Lego Movie, just saying. And finally, Best Original Score went to the Grand Budapest Hotel. There were of course a lot of other winners, but those you can just look up later. Also, I'd just like to say, a couple of days ago I posted my predictions on my Instagram, and sadly, only 2 out of 7 were right, which, you know, isn't that terrible. Hopefully next year I'll get them all right. Now let's get to the movies I want to talk about. I'd just like to preface this with, I haven't seen Boyhood, Selma, American Sniper, Grand Budapest Hotel, or The Theory of Everything, but I'm going to watch those last 2 very soon, so I'll leave a comment below with my thoughts on those when I have. Anyway, Birdman, or The Unexpected Virtue of Ignorance. This is easily one of my favorite films of all time. There are just so many layers to it. The way it talks about the blockbusters and superhero movies we have today, and how they compare to quote-unquote actual films is so fascinating. As someone who's a huge superhero movie fan, this film really opened my eyes more to the bigger picture. The performances in this movie are just off the hook. This was almost a biographical movie from Michael Keaton, because of the obvious Batman comparison. But everyone else too. Edward Norton, Emma Stone, everyone is phenomenal. The comedy in the movie also works, and while it is pretty dark comedy, sometimes I have a pretty dark sense of humor.
Well, I'm sorry if I'm popular, Mike. You know,
I don't give a shit. Popularity is the slutty little cousin of prestige, my friend.
Okay, I don't even know what the fuck that means. So.
And, oh yeah, there's that whole one-shot thing, which makes it feel like you're really there with the characters. Oh, and also the soundtrack is awesome, with just the drums and nothing else. Anyway, in the end, I'll give Birdman the old 1 to 10 treatment, and I have to say, Birdman gets a 10 out of 10. If you haven't seen it, you are making a huge mistake. I might do a full review of it someday, but for now, let's move on to The Imitation Game. The Imitation Game was also really great, but not quite as great as Birdman. But it still is really, really good. Not just good, but excellent. It's a really suspenseful movie, and that's extremely impressive when you take into account that it's based on real events and you know how it's going to end. Alan Turing solves the Nazi code and we win the war. You know it's going to happen, and yet you're still on the edge of your seat. Benedict Cumberbatch is amazing in the movie. You feel sympathetic for the character, even though sometimes he comes off as kind of a jerk. Also, I didn't know much or really anything about Alan Turing going into this, so I didn't know about the kind of plot twist. I don't know if you can call it that. It's not really a spoiler because it's history and they kind of say it in the trailer, but basically, Alan Turing was gay.
What if I don't fancy being with Joan in that way?
Because you're a homosexual.
And the way the movie showed that, for example, sometimes through flashbacks, it was just really well done. Oh, and also, Keira Knightley, Mark Strong, and all the other cast members are great in the movie. At the end of the day, I'm going to give The Imitation Game a 9.5 out of 10. The only thing I didn't really like about it was the ending. Like, literally the very last scene. No spoilers, but for me, it ended on a lower note than the rest of the movie had been on. And finally, Whiplash. Whew, this movie was intense. At a point in the movie, my heart was beating as fast as Miles Teller was playing the drums. Okay, that's an exaggeration, but you get the point. J.K. Simmons in this movie might just be the most frightening villain in all of cinema. Yeah, I said it. First, let's talk about the performances. J.K. Simmons. All I know this guy for is J. Jonah Jameson, which he is perfect as. Now, when I watch the original Spider-Man, I won't be able to unsee Fletcher. Simmons' performance in this might just be the best performance I've seen in years. I know that's a bold claim, but if you've seen the movie, you know what I mean. The best part is, he switches characters literally in 2 seconds. He goes from being this kind of nice, consoling guy who's just like, do your best and whatever, don't worry about it. Then when Miles Teller's playing the drums, he suddenly just hurls a chair at him and starts screaming at him and slapping him. He is so mean to this kid, and it's almost hard to watch at a point. When Miles Teller's up on the stage and Fletcher's like, don't F this up, you know if he does, it's going to be ugly. Another amazing thing about this movie is, I really don't like movies about instruments and music, and I have no interest in drums or jazz, but this movie had me engaged and engrossed for every second. I haven't even talked about Miles Teller yet, who's pretty much equally as impressive as J.K. Simmons. There's only one word to describe this movie: intense. If you have anxiety issues, this is not the film for you. I love this movie the more and more I think about it, and it also gets a 10 out of 10. So those were the Oscar movies I've seen and what I thought of them. Which movie do you wish had won Best Picture? Be sure to let me know in the comments. I think Birdman completely deserved it. Hit the like button, and subscribe for more videos like the one you just watched. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.